What is going on, guys? This is Benny here, bringing another Brawl Stars video. Today, we're going to be showing you how to play and everything you need to know about Brock. He is definitely one of my favorite brawlers in the game, and you guys seem to really want this video sooner rather than later, so that's what we're doing today. Definitely leave a like if you guys do enjoy the strategy videos, and subscribe, and also let me know which brawlers you would like to see next. So without further ado, let's get into Brock here. Brock is one of the best long-range brawlers in the game, and he is so versatile. He can be pretty much played in every single game mode and perform really well. His main attacks deal massive damage, and if you're on par or the same level or above these brawlers, you're going to three-shot all of these. You're going to three-shot a Colt, a Jesse, a Enemy Brock, a Dynamite, a Barley, a Ricochet, a Penny, Piper, Tara, Spike, Crow, and Leon. So I think that's 12 brawlers right there. That is over half. So Brock, if he lands all of his shots, is going to three-shot every single one of those. That is huge. And keep in mind with Brock, the difference with him is like, you know how like the downside with Piper is when brawlers get up close to you, she doesn't do a whole lot of damage? Well, with Brock, it does the same amount of damage up close as afar. So that is so good because these main attacks pack a huge punch, which is very, very helpful for him, especially at close range. Now, Brock definitely has one of the best supers in the game. It is long, it does a ton of damage, it has a wide range, and it breaks walls. So this is super good for maybe finishing off enemies that are behind a wall that you can't get, or maybe enemies that are grouped up. It is great for destroying walls. Keep that in mind. It's great for destroying turrets as well, like the annoying mortars and everything. And also you can zone with it, like you can push away brawlers. So let's go over the best practices for when you want to use this super. A lot of times, like, you want to actually save it for these right moments. You don't just want to like randomly auto aim it or spam it as soon as you get it, because his super is very, very good. Like, say for instance you're playing Bounty and there's an enemy Penny that has a mortar, and the mortars are so annoying. A lot of times you want to save his super so when Penny drops down her mortar, you can take care of it. Like if you're able to have an open range and hit all of the mortar shots on it, it's going to destroy it. Or at least you can open up the walls to maybe open it up so your teammates can take care of it. Now it also is huge in Heist. On some of the Heist maps that he's good on, he can open up the wall in front of the safe. In Brawl Ball, he can do the same thing. He can open up the walls in front of the goals. Now, it is also very, very good for zoning. Like, say there's like you just destroyed an enemy that had a ton of gems, and the enemy is trying to grab all those gems and pick them up again. Well, you can zone them off by launching your super and pressing them back, because if they want to go get those gems, they're gonna have to walk through a wall of rockets, and it's just gonna help you out. You can do the same thing when like there's an energy drink that spawns on the map for the game mods, and you're trying to take control of that. If the enemies start to try and get it, you can launch out your super and punish them for that, or even back them off so maybe you guys can steal it. So use it for zoning as well. Maybe sometimes you have to protect yourself and save yourself, or save your teammates, especially in Bounty. Like, say you have like a 7 bounty and a Leon or something is charging you and the time's almost out. To back him off, you would throw down your super to zone him away from you, to hopefully so you don't die and you don't end up losing the match. So his super is so good. We'll get into a little bit more like the correct times, but keep in mind, you don't always just have to use it right away when you get it. Definitely save it for those opportune moments. So now I want to go over his star power. Maybe some of you are close to maxing him out and you're wondering if it's worth it to pick it up in the shop, or maybe some of you that have the star power, you're wondering some better uses for it. So if you guys have seen my ranking video on the star powers, I have it ranked on the lower tier. Like, I don't think it's game changing by any means. Obviously any star power is helpful, but if you don't have it yet, I wouldn't be too worried about seeking it out. I would maybe wait on like saving the gold if you see it in the shop, purchasing a different one that will be a little bit more useful, because it overall just, it doesn't change too much with Brock. But if you don't know what it does, basically when he shoots a rocket, it leaves a small fire on the ground for a couple seconds, and if enemies walk through that, it's going to deal 240 damage for every second that they're in there. Now, that is very useful for like zoning, a mini zoning kind of, like if you don't want a enemy brawler to be able to walk away, and you want to keep them like in a certain area, you can throw down a couple rockets and leave the fire there. But now I feel like it's more intimidating than what it is, because if you have a decent amount of health as a brawler, you can just kind of walk by it and it's barely going to do any damage to you. So I feel like early on, just seeing the flames or whatever, it's more intimidating than what it is, because it doesn't deal a lot of damage. So that it has more of an intimidation factor where people don't want to walk through it. Now, some good uses for it, like I said, are zoning the brawlers. Another good use is, like, say a brawler is kind of trapped in a spot and like they need to walk out, it'll slow down their healing process if they need to. Like, so just that little bit of damage will slow down for them for like regenning and whatnot. So I don't know, it's okay, but it's not a must get. It's mainly for the zoning purposes. That's usually what you use it for. So now I want to go over the game modes that Brock is best in, and then after I'll go in like some maps that you want to avoid. But basically, Bounty is his best game mode by far. I think like he can be played in pretty much almost every map, especially with a proper team. He's just gonna dominate, and like he's just so good. Like Bounty, for sure. Showdown, he is also a monster in. A lot of the maps are favored to longer range brawlers or wide open lanes and stuff. In Showdown, he can be a nightmare as well. Gem Grab, he is also very good as a laner. You don't want to be the gem carrier with him too much, but with how much damage he can deal up close and afar, he is so good in that. And now he still can be very good in Heist and Brawl Ball. It's just more specific on the maps that you play him with. So now I want to go over which maps you might want to avoid with him. So all Bounty maps, I would say play him with the utmost confidence, except for maybe 2. Like, it depends on your trophy range here. But Snake Prairie, because there is a lot of grass, I know definitely around lower trophies, there's so many shotgun brawlers, so it might be a little difficult. And the other one is Outlaw Camp. So what you need to be able to do on these is maybe go in with a team that understands, like, all right, we need to open up this map, because a lot of high trophy matches are run by like especially in Snake Prairie, it's like a max bow that has the star power to be able to see further so you know what's coming, and then a Piper or like a Brock. Sometimes Leon's thrown in there, and then sometimes a shotgunner as well. But be prepared to open up the map, because on maps that have that yellow grass, if you take care of it with like your super or whatever, it's never gonna grow back. So be sure to open up the map so you can always see, like, you're not gonna get surprised by a bush camping bull or something. You're gonna know exactly where every single brawler is going for. So just be on the lookout for a Snake Prairie with that. Make sure like your teammate Piper or something is using her super to open up the sides of the map and everything. And then Outlaw Camp is a little bit different because there's so much grass in the middle. It's kind of the same thing where you want to open it up with your super, and what I mean by opening it up is like take care of the walls, so it leaves you clear fire ranges with Brock, and you don't have to put yourself in danger when you're trying to walk through all this grass, because there might be a camping shotgunner. So be careful on those two, especially the ones with a lot of the grass and everything of the shotgunners. It's very helpful if you are able to get a max bow on your team, but just keep that in mind. So for Showdown, I would have confidence playing him on every single map except for these 3 right here. The first one is Hot Maze. Don't play him on Hot Maze. Too many walls, too many close quarters, too many throwers on that map, and it's just not going to go well for you. And the next one is Island Invasion. Too much grass. You're not going to be able to do much. There's going to be a lot of shotgunners, and it's overall not going to go well for you. And then the next one is Cavernture, and it's kind of like the same. It's like a combination of Hot Maze and Island Invasion, where there's too many close quarters, too many walls, and then that big grass area in the middle. You're not going to be able to do well on those maps. So stay away from those 3. All the other Showdown maps, I would say, play him with pretty good confidence. For Gem Grab, I'd say he's a pretty solid pick on almost all the maps except for Deep Siege and Chill Cave. They're just a little bit too close quarters for my liking. Now, it's tough on Gem Grab, because some maps he's really good. It really depends on your team comp and how you're playing. Like, you have to be cautious going into Gem Grab matches with him, unless there's a lot of open lanes and long like distances. Now keep in mind, you still can destroy up close, like if you know like those brawlers that we listed off, if you're able to get up close and auto aim with them. But Gem Grab, he still is a very solid choice, but I would typically stay away from Deep Siege and Chill Cave for sure. So for Ice, the maps that I would typically stay away from him are GG Corral and Fancy Fencing. Now, if you want to play it like a game where you just try and get your super and open up the middle and open up all the walls, you can go for that route, because then it's just all wide shooting lanes. But typically, since how close quarters and how many walls there are, it might be a little tough early on, and I feel like Heist is like a snowball game. Like once you get like, I don't know, I typically stay away from one of those 2. For Brawl Ball, it's Sneaky Fields, Triple Dribble, and Puddle Splash. I don't like playing him on that. It's the same principle where there's too many walls, too many close quarters, and it's kind of difficult. But if you do end up playing on that, make sure to open up the walls in the middle and around the enemy's goal and stuff to make it easier, make your life easier basically, to find open shooting lanes and not have to face check corners and all that stuff, facing a lot of the shotgunners. So yeah, he's overall good in like a lot of maps though, and at least in almost every game mode he can be played on at least some of the maps. So now I just want to go over some general tips with him while you're playing to help you guys out. Now, the first one is use your range to your advantage. He has such a long range, and he's going to outrange so many brawlers. Like, just keep your distance a lot of the times. Like, it's going to be helpful for you. Yes, you can do a ton of damage up close, but still, you want to use that range basically to your advantage and just keep your distance and just peck them with shots for as long as you can. And now another thing is, I would say lay off the auto aim unless like they're very close range to you. Like, remember how we were talking about how we can 3-shot a lot of brawlers? If it's a close quarters instance and they're like right on top of you and you want to get your shots off as fast as possible, you kind of switch. You basically in your mindset be like, all right, now Brock, you're gonna be a shotgunner here. You're gonna be a bull. We're switching to auto aim at close quarters, trying to take care of like a Jesse or something, where you just run up to them, 3-shot them, and then get out because you're going to be able to take care of them. He's also one of the best peek shooters in the game. This is where you are standing behind a wall and you see an enemy. You pop out for a split second, get your rocket off, and you go back behind the wall. It basically makes you avoid all damage because it's very, unless they timed it like perfectly or they got lucky with the shot where you peeked out and their shot just happened to land by the time you peeked out, then you might get some damage, but it's the best way to avoid all damage. I know I've talked a lot about this with Brock before, with Piper, but basically you just kind of want to manual aim, peek out, shoot, and go back. Now, if you're a little bit less experienced with it, you can peek out, try and auto aim, but a lot of times it doesn't work, and then peek back in. So a lot of times, peek out, manual aim where you want it to go, shoot it, and then go behind the wall, and it's going to save you so many times. It's one of the best things with long range brawlers to do. And then another thing too is like he's very good with strafing. Like say you're dueling with another Brock or another Piper or maybe a Penny or anything, just moving that left to right, trying to be unpredictable while you're aiming your shots, trying to hit them. It's so helpful to just not be so predictable and just walking straight to the left and just getting pelted. So strafing. And then I just want to make this clear, like this point clear here. I already talked about the best uses for a super and stuff, but literally try and save it for the most opportune moments. It's like if you need like a clutch kill, or you just need a kill maybe to get you guys ahead in bounty, you need to finish off a brawler that has a ton of gems, you need to open up some walls. Like, do not be afraid to just use a super to open up walls. Like, you don't always have to get damage to the enemy brawler. That's a plus, but a lot of times it's okay to just use his super to open up the map to maybe take away the enemy's cover or just stuff like that. Because like if you're going into a game and say your team composition is a little bit more longer range brawlers and the enemy has a bunch of shotgun brawlers and stuff, and it's on a map where they can hide behind like little corners and walls and stuff, you want to use your super to open that up so it gives the enemies less cover, because then you can just rain down shots on them and they're not going to be able to dodge effectively. So don't be afraid to open up the map, especially if the enemy has a lot of close range brawlers and stuff, because it's going to put you at a huge advantage. Alright, so I do want to play one solo showdown match here with him, just kind of like put what I was talking about as a visual representation while playing some live matches here. If I had to say like how easy he is to play, by saying him like ranking him like beginner, intermediate, or expert, like say for instance like a beginner brawler, just it's super easy to pick up and play, like a Bull or a Shelly, I put him more on like intermediate, because I feel like he takes a little bit of time to learn, and the webcam is frozen here, but I feel like he takes a little bit of time to learn to play, because you don't just want to manual aim with him or auto aim with him. It's more about manual aiming, picking those shots when to shoot. But basically what we're going to try and do is peek shoot. I like to play him a lot, like pretty passive in Showdown, unless I'm able to get a lot of like those boxes early for the power cubes. Other than that, I tend to kind of just chill back, fire off some rockets, try and get my super, and then once I have my super, I'm a little bit more aggressive. But early on, I'm a little bit more passive. We have a decent spawn. I'm gonna go for these 2 boxes over here. There's a Leon. I hate so many of these showdowns with Leon. It's very annoying. We did get a couple hits on him though. It does take me 3 shots to take a box. So let's see. Basically trying to peek. He's gonna try and steal that box there, so nice, and then my fire will take care of it. All right, so this Leon is almost dead. We got him. There's one box in the way back. I can't, I feel like, I don't want to grab it because I'm going to get pinched, but we're going to go for it. This could be a very risky play because I'm going to take like 3 ticks here. 4, I took 5 ticks I took. That was almost risking it there. Normally I'm not that risky, but I wanted that power cube. So we're doing okay though. A bow, chilling. I can take care of him up close. Oh my god, there's 3 Leons over there. Screw that. Get away from all the Leons, man. Now I can melt them up close, but I have to be very careful which bushes I go to. No one's in there, okay. Yeah, we're down to 5, so at least I think we get 0 trophies up at this high trophy range. Leon with 6 power cubes on my butt here. I don't know if there's any brawler over here. Alright, fine. We found a Primo finally. It's like... Try to get off. Like, a Leon like that, you can't do much. My goodness, but I think we're gonna wrap it here, guys. We get, for 4, we get 2. I mean, it's tough to push at, I think, over 500 trophies, but... I didn't even see it coming. Normally, at a close range engagement like that, if you at least know they're coming, you can take care of the brawler with your 3 manual auto-aim attacks and stuff, but there was no chance. That guy had more elixir too. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Brock. I don't know if I should have risked it for that last power cube, but it paid off, I guess. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about Brock. Do you like him a lot? Do you not? Let me know which brawlers you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys later.